All right, let's talk about the berries right behind me. Everybody knows I ship plants to your door. I show you how to grow all this stuff, but I haven't showed you when to pick the berries and a few tips on what to look for when you get ready to harvest these things. And if you stay with me throughout this whole video, I promise you're going to learn a lot more than anything you've seen on the internet anywhere. And a lot of it comes from experience with dealing with all this. Now, the easiest thing to tell you would be to, well, just pick it when it looks like it's at the grocery store, what you would find on the shelf at the grocery store. But when you go to grow this stuff at your house, you're not a commercial farmer, so you really need to be looking for certain things because your berries ain't going to turn out the same as those commercial farmers do. So yeah, their berries are actually grown in perfect conditions and with a whole lot different varieties that are introduced throughout the years. So they have a little bit more of an advantage than the typical backyard gardener. Now, having said all that, the absolute best time to pick your berries is first thing in the morning and late in the afternoon. And the reason behind all that is to make sure that those birds ain't never getting them. So let me explain. If you pick your berries first thing in the morning, you're only picking the ripe ones, right? And birds only really want the ripe ones in the first place. So as the day progresses, some of those berries will become ripe, and then you'll just pick them at nighttime. So typically, whenever you notice a berry is starting to turn colors in the first place, within 12 to 48 hours, it'll be completely ripe. But that does vary between berry to berry. However, with blackberries, I know with 100% certainty that is true. So rule number one when picking berries is make sure you pick them in the morning and late in the afternoon. Now let's talk about what to really look for when you go to pick the berries. Right here is a cluster of berries. Can you tell me which one is ripe and which one is not ripe? Obviously, since this is a blackberry bush, all the red ones are not ripe. So then it just boils down to these three right here. Each one of these is completely black. Obviously, you can see that, but for proof, let's flip it over. There is just one little purple spot on that, but the overall berry is black. This whole thing is black. You can see all of it there. And so is this one. Now, what is the difference? It really boils down to how small these drupelets are, but drupelets are those bumps on each one of these berries. And you can see them real good on these berries that are not ready yet. But you notice they're really, really tight. They're really, really close. And these are so full. So what I'm telling you is the tighter the actual bumps are, or drupelets are on the blackberry, the tartar the berry is. So you want those real plump looking ones when you go to pick them. And if they look like this one right here, if you give them about another 12 hours before you pick them, they should be a little bit more full and look a lot like this right here. And that really is not just it. You need to also make sure you pull on those berries really, really gentle and see if they'll come off with ease. If they don't come off with ease, then you know they're not ready. And typically, those blackberries that have those smaller drupelets, you have to pull on them a lot harder before it's fully ripe. So if they're not full and they don't come off easy, then you know they're not ready. And if you looked at these two blackberries, which one do you think would actually be the sweetest? Do you think it'd be the one right here? Or do you think it'd be this one right here? If you look really close, you can see which drupelets are tighter and which one looks more full. Both of them are fully ripe. This one could have stayed on the vine maybe a little bit longer, or the cane a little bit longer. But overall, this one would be guaranteed to be a lot more sweeter than this one just from the overall looks of it. So if you decide to pick berries that have those real tight drupelets, that real tight looking berry, more than likely it's going to be completely tart and real sour. And it'll probably be one of those berries that you'll wish you had never put in your mouth in the first place. And so that leads me to say that if you go and pick them first thing in the morning and you leave behind those berries with those tight drupelets, more than likely, by late in the afternoon, everything will be full. You can pick those same berries and get a better tasting blackberry than you would have gotten before. And if you stuck around to the very end, if you're wondering what varieties of blackberries this is right behind me, these are our Arapaho berries, and these were our best producing ones this year. And we always have these plants ready to ship out to you.